What's up, Varga family? Welcome back to my channel. So today for you guys, I have some Dollar Tree pool noodle Valentine's Day DIYs. These DIYs are so easy to do and they are so cute. Let me know your favorite down in the comments below. Mine's is definitely the first one. It's an original idea that I've been really excited to share with you guys. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. I'm very close to hitting 1 million subscribers. I upload lots of Dollar Tree type of DIY and haul content. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please make sure you subscribe. Anyways, with that all being said, let's begin the video.
Of course, for all of these DIYs, you're going to need a pool noodle. Dollar Tree right now is carrying the pool noodles in white, orange, and green. Now I use a kitchen knife to cut my pool noodle in half. I'm then going to start painting on stripes in different colors. I'm using a paint sponge to do this just so I can get an even line without having to use tape. The paint colors, I'm using them in the order you see me painting, are Hello Hobbies Chalk Paint and Blush. I got it from Walmart. And then Apple Barrel paints in Antique White, Summer Sky, light pink, and golden yellow. You'll find these paints at Walmart. Now you're going to paint the front and back of your pool noodles. Now go to Google Images and type in Smarties Candy logo. You're going to save the image and print it out. If you need to blow up the picture, just go to the print setup page and type into the scale part, and you can blow up the picture by just putting different numbers in there. You'll print the picture and then cut it out. Now to glue this picture to my pool noodle, I'm using Elmer's glue with a little bit of hot glue. You're going to pick up some cellophane wrap from Dollar Tree and use this to wrap around the pool noodle. Cut enough cellophane to wrap around the pool noodle and then use something to tie the cellophane on the ends of the pool noodles. I used a zip tie because that's what I had on hand. You can use anything. And here you have some jumbo Smarties. Aren't these just so cute? I decided to go with more pastel colors to go with my Valentine's Day decor. There's another way you can do this if you do not have a steady hand when painting. You can get streamers from Dollar Tree. Get different colors. The only bad thing about this is they don't have too many pastel options. All you have to do is wrap streamer pieces around your pool noodle and glue them into place. So I did this with 5 different colors, and once I have that done, I do the exact same thing. I cut out an image of the Smarties logo, glue that to the pool noodle, add my wrap, and that's it. I've been waiting almost an entire year to do this. I had this idea after Valentine's Day last year, so it was too late. I'm so glad I remembered to do it this year because these are the cutest. We're continuing with that sweets theme. Get a pool noodle and cut it down into a bunch of smaller pieces. I recommend going at least 1.5 inches wide with each piece. Now you're just going to paint them. I used the exact same paints as before except the light pink paint from Apple Barrel, and this time around I added a green paint and it's from Apple Barrel and it's called Lime Tree. Now take some ribbon, I'm using some pink ribbon, and start feeding your pool noodle pieces through the ribbon. I went with the order of pink, blue, green, yellow, white, and I just kept repeating that until I ran out of pool noodle pieces. And what is it that we made? We made candy necklace garland. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is another adorable piece. All you have to do is tie a little knot on the end of your ribbon. That way you can hang it off of whatever it is you want to hang it off of. I just hung it on our fireplace. Look how stinking cute this is. This is another idea that I've been wanting to try for a very long time, and I love the way it turned out. Next up, we're going to do the infamous pool noodle lollipops, but we're going to change them around. It's not going to be the same thing you see all the time with the masking tape. So if you're not familiar, what you do is you get a pool noodle from Dollar Tree and you start to roll it into itself to create a swirl-like shape. As you roll it, you're going to use hot glue to glue the pool noodle in place, and you want to hold tightly to that pool noodle so the glue can completely dry. You want to use your glue on a low heat setting. If you use something that is too hot, it melts the foam and it turns into a big mess. It's always nice to have something on hand to tie the pool noodle together as you wait for the glue to dry. I'm using zip ties this time, but if you have a big rubber band, you can go ahead and use that. Once I'm confident that the glue has completely dry, I cut the zip tie. Now what we're doing differently is we're going to be using yarn. I got this thick yarn half off at Hobby Lobby for $3.50. If you want to use Dollar Tree yarn, you can go ahead and do that, but you want to make it thicker somehow. Whether that's taking pieces of yarn, twirling it around itself, or creating big chunky braid pieces, you just want thicker yarn. Now what you'll do is you'll glue the yarn onto your lollipop where the crevices of the swirl are. And you're just doing that to create a swirl design in the lollipop, and you can use the yarn to shape the lollipop. So at the end where the one piece of pool noodle is sticking out, it can look a little funny. You can use the yarn to kind of round out that even better. Another thing you can do to make that end of the pool noodle flow better is just by cutting it out in a more rounded angle. Now create a hole at the bottom of your lollipop. I'm just using pliers to do this, and you're going to feed a handle through there to be the handle of the lollipop. I'm using a wooden dowel that I got from Walmart. If you're trying to use Dollar Tree products, you can use the wooden handle of a toilet plunger from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to be using some Elmer's school glue again and foam beads that I got from Dollar Tree. I like this really pretty pastel pack, and I'm just adding a bunch of glue on the white part of the pool noodle that is still showing. Once I have a bunch of glue there, I start to pour on the foam beads, and I just let them attach to the glue. I also added another layer of glue on top of the beads that are already there, and then piled on more foam beads. To get rid of any loose foam beads, I just flipped the lollipop over and let them fall down. I decided to paint the wooden dowel white, and then I glued a bow to where the lollipop and dowel meet. The bow is actually a headband bow that I got from Dollar Tree. I just cut out the bow part and glued that. I'm not good at making bows. I say this all the time, so if I can buy them already made, that's what I do, and I really like the color of this one. That's how I made these lollipops. I have a lot of yarn and a lot of foam beads left over to make more lollipops. I love the way these turned out. I like them more than the Christmas kind. If you want to do the duct tape way, Dollar Tree doesn't really carry pastel duct tape, so you can go to Hobby Lobby where they have this crafting tape, and it's $2.99, and you get a bigger roll than what you get at Dollar Tree. So all you do is you take your roll and just wrap it around your pool noodle, and you keep doing this till you get a striped look. You'll then take your hot glue and do the exact same thing. You're rolling the pool noodle to get that swirl shape and using the hot glue as you go to stick it all to each other. If you want to know how to make your lollipops even bigger, I'll link my previous pool noodle DIY down in the description. There I show you how to make a jumbo lollipop. This time around, I'm doing just a big jumbo peppermint piece rather than a lollipop. So I take my cellophane. I took what I had left since I didn't have much left to wrap around the entire thing. I had to glue the cellophane in place, and then I tie the ends up to make it look like wrapped peppermint. This is so inexpensive to do and really simple, and it just creates really cute decor. For this next project, I'm using this red duct tape that I got from Dollar Tree and 3 pool noodles. I start by taking one pool noodle and making the ends of that pool noodle meet. It's nice to have help for this, so you can take your tape and then tape the ends together. So I had my husband hold the pool noodle in place as I taped, and I used a good amount of tape because I'm going to be using the tape to try to hide as much green as I can with one roll. I then take another pool noodle and I tape that around what is supposed to be a wreath form, again just using my duct tape to tape it into place. I had to take one more pool noodle and cut a piece down to go on the portion that was still missing some pool noodle. Like I said, I just used a bunch of duct tape as much as I could with one roll to get as much of the red around that wreath form, because I'm going to be putting some red tinsel garland on this. So the tinsel garland is from Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that around my pool noodle. At first I tried to tie it around first and then wrap it, but when you tie it, pieces come off, so instead you have to glue it into place and then wrap it around. I used 3 pieces total to do this, and I moved the garland around areas where I could really see the green popping through, and then just let the red from the duct tape pop through in areas where there was no tinsel. Now I'm going to be using these red heart ornaments that I got from Dollar Tree. I used 2 packs, and I left the gold part on there because I felt like the red hearts were blending in too much with the wreath, so I just used that kind of as a pop of color. I felt like this needed a little bit more, so I'm gluing down these pink glitter foam hearts that I got from Hobby Lobby last year for $2.50. They have them in again, but just wait for them to go on sale for half off, so you pay that $2.50. Dollar Tree has picks that have these exact hearts on them, but you get more bang for your buck going to Hobby Lobby and getting the hearts. Here you have a jumbo Valentine's Day wreath. I love to use the Dollar Tree pool noodles to create wreath forms, especially since Dollar Tree's wreath forms are on the smaller side, so you can use the pool noodles to make something even bigger. Our final DIY is the hardest out of all my DIYs, but that doesn't mean it's hard. So what you want are 2 pool noodles from Dollar Tree, and you are going to bend them around to get a heart shape. Now the pool noodle is not going to stay in place, so you want to get some multi-purpose wire. This is wire that I got from Home Depot. I have this big old roll that I used during Christmas time and I'm using now. I take some of that wire and I wrap it around to get 2 pieces that are like side by side to make it thicker, and then I cut it down with a wire cutter and feed that through my pool noodles so that the shape that I bent into place stays. Now I'm taking this white duct tape that I got from Dollar Tree and I'm using it to tape both of my pool noodles together to create that heart shape. At the bottom of my heart, I left a good amount of wire. I wrapped the wire around so that the pool noodles don't unravel and just end up opening up on me. And then I'm going to be using that to put through some foam. Now I'm going to be painting the pool noodle green. You can always buy the pool noodles already green. I didn't have those on hand, so I painted it with apple barrel paint in Christmas green. The reason I do this is I'm going to be putting flowers on my heart. And if there are areas where I just didn't have enough flowers to cover or it's just peeking through, I don't want the white to peek through because then I think it takes away from the look. So by having it green in the background, it's just going to blend in with everything else. So if you're going to do a bunch of red roses, paint the heart red so that way if there's any area that you missed, it's not going to be white, it's not going to be green, it's not going to be orange, it'll be red. Now get yourself a planter or a bucket from Dollar Tree. I got this one. I wish they carried bigger ones for this, but that was the best I could find. And then I'm going to use this piece of floral foam. I'm going to glue that piece down to the center of my bucket, and then I'm going to feed my wire from the heart through that piece. You need weight in your bucket so this thing doesn't fall over on you. So you can use Dollar Tree stones to give it weight. I used 2 packs of white stones, realized I didn't have enough, and at the end of this I had to add more stones. Another thing is I had to cut down my wire. I realized that the wire was just too big, so I cut it down to shorten it, and then I feed it through my foam again, and this time around I used some hot glue and stones to fill in the hole that was a little too big from when I previously put the wire through. Next up, I created 2 little holes in the back of my bucket, and to do this I used a box cutter. You want to do it slowly. If you do it too fast, you might crack the plastic. I ended up cracking the plastic on one side and I had to use hot glue to fix it because I was impatient with the other side and just went too fast. So just go slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Now the reason we're doing this is so that we can feed zip ties through the hole, wrap it around the pool noodle, and this is going to really help secure the pool noodles in place and prevent it from falling over to one side, because the front or the back end up being too weighted, and by adding these zip ties it prevents it from falling over, because I'm not trying to teach you guys how to create this and it's just going to keep falling on you. I want it to stay up for you guys. Now it's time to decorate. I got 2 of these floral garden pieces from Hobby Lobby. They are 6 feet, originally $7.99, but I got them half off for $4 each. And every other week, these go on sale at Hobby Lobby. Now you can buy all your floral pieces from Dollar Tree, but there's only 5 roses in a bundle at Dollar Tree, and you're paying $1.25 for 5 roses. It's going to get really pricey fast, especially to cover something up like this. So you can go elsewhere, get the garland, and this help covers most of your heart, so then you can just use pieces from Dollar Tree as filler. You can hot glue the garland into place, or you can use zip ties. Zip ties make it so much easier to do than dealing with hot glue. Like, it's just a bigger mess when you're dealing with the hot glue. I cut some pieces of the garland off to glue where the pool noodles meet and on top of that duct tape to make it all flow better. And I only used 2 pieces of garland. I think I said that. I used 1 on each pool noodle. Now I'm going to be using these roses that I got from Dollar Tree. I use my wire cutters to cut off each rose, and I cut the stem off so that it's long enough to go through the pool noodle, but not too long where you see the stem sticking out of the other side of the pool noodle. And I just start to poke this all throughout the pool noodle. Now, there's a way of doing this. You can take the greenery or the leaves off of the flowers and glue those on, and then use the flowers on the stem on their own, and this way you get more bang for your buck. That way you can use the greenery from the leaves to glue in areas that are like naked and you can see the pool noodle. You get more out of your flowers by doing it this way, or you could just buy a bunch of flowers and just leave the greenery on the roses themselves and just put them all throughout the pool noodle. I did a mixture of both. Some of the flowers I left the greenery on, some I took off, cut the leaves down into individual pieces, and then glue them to areas that I thought needed it. So areas that I could really see the pool noodle and it just looked funny. I also got this greenery from Dollar Tree. They're bringing this one back in because of the spring season. Even though it's not spring, Dollar Tree is starting to get the spring stuff in. And I'm just gluing that again anywhere I think that it is needed. Other than the garland that's on the back of my heart, most of the greenery I stuck was on the front of the heart. If you want to do the front and back, you can't. I just did the front because it's cheaper to just focus on the side that people actually see. Then I went in with some more stones from Dollar Tree. I wanted to use all white, but I ran out, and then I had these ones on hand. And that's how I made this jumbo heart using the pool noodles from Dollar Tree. This thing is about 3 feet tall. It might be a little bit more. I didn't measure it exactly, but I'm guessing around 3 feet tall. It is so pretty. You can actually make these for a wedding if you like, but if you make it for a wedding, for sure I would put the wire part of the heart inside of concrete, just so this thing doesn't blow over on you. That's it for these Dollar Tree Valentine's Day pool noodle DIYs. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, let me know your favorite down in the comments below. I'm very interested to see what you guys like. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.